Hey guys, and welcome back to the totally normal Gran Turismo 5 playthrough. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, I recommend doing so, because they're gonna provide a lot of context on where we are now. Anyways, I welcome you back to the world of Gran Turismo 5. Now, I really wanted to do Classic Muscle Car Championship, but the problem is that I don't have any cars that are eligible for the event. And I don't have the patience to wait for one to appear in the used dealership. So I had to settle for a car from the salon. Out of the many options I had, logically, I went for the slowest car in the category. Introducing our new addition to the garage, the Ford Mustang Mach-1. Anyways, let's go do Classic Muscle Car Championship. The first and the only race is at Monza circuit. So let's see how I do. So the race started and yeah, I think we all know how this went. Anyways, on the braking zone, I managed to overtake the Superbird, the C2 Corvette, and the Charger. And then I overtook the Cougar and the Corvette Stingray. And then it took me a bit of time to catch up to the Charger Super B. But once I did, it was very easy to overtake it. Then I tried to catch up to the Challenger, but failed. I tried again on the next corner, but that still wasn't enough. It also didn't help that the Challenger kept pulling away from me. On the next corner, I managed to overtake the Challenger using some clean racing. And even though the muscle cars were competitive, they still didn't stop me from winning the race and earning 12,000 credits. And yeah, that's Classic Muscle Car Championship. So now let's see what we get as a prize car for winning this event. Special? What can be so special about a prize car? Oh, it's the Buick Special. I didn't even realize. And now I wanted to do MR Sports Cup, but the problem is that I don't have any cars that are eligible for the event. And the ones that I do have are severely underpowered. So, after a bit of money grinding, I was able to buy the car and all the upgrades I needed for it. Anyways, let's go race mid-engine supercars. The first race is at Deep Forest, so let's see how I do. The first corner came around and I managed to beat the XJ220, the Shizeta, and my black twin. And that's not me being racist. Anyways, this section of the track came around and I managed to overtake the Cadillac CN. And then it took me a bit of time to catch up to the Selena 7. But once I did, it was very easy to overtake it. Then I tried to catch up to the Ferrari on this corner but failed. And then I tried to catch up again using the cornering strategy and that actually worked, allowing me to overtake the F40. Honestly, most of the challenge in this race came from controlling the car rather than winning the race, which I managed to do with no problem, and earning 30,000 credits as a reward. The second race is at High Speed Ring Reverse. The long corner came around and I managed to catch up to the Ferrari F430 and overtake it. And then I easily overtook the Lamborghini Countach in the tunnel. And then it took me a while to catch up to the Pagani Zonda. But lucky for me, the long corner is always an obstacle for the AI. And also, the Volkswagen Nardo almost ended my race. But anyways, the braking zone was coming up, so I braked and I overtook the Volkswagen Nardo. But then it overtook me back. It also didn't help with the fact that my top speed was complete shit. But lucky for me, I was able to slipstream, which allowed me to catch up to the Volkswagen Nardo and the McLaren F1. I was able to overtake the McLaren F1, but not the Volkswagen Nardo, as it refused to give up the golden trophy. On the next braking zone, however, I braked way later than the Nardo, which allowed me to take its first place very easily. And even though the AI refused to give up, it still didn't stop me from taking home the victory, earning 30,000 credits and reaching level 18. The third and the final race is at the Le Mans circuit. Honestly, I didn't have the patience in me to battle with these guys normally, so I just did some off-roading and overtook everyone that way. Trust me when I say, I did a lot of off-road activities. So much so that even the rubber banding AI wasn't enough to stop me from winning the race and earning my well-deserved 30,000 credits. And yeah, that's MR Sports Cup. Anyways, let's see what we get as a prize car for winning this event. A V16T. Now, I'm not sure if I'll be able to use it anywhere, but we'll see. Anyways, let's go beat Tuning Car Grand Prix using the Buick Special, which I won earlier. First off, I tried to do the championship with the Buick, but the problem is that it's severed from terminal understeer. So, after buying racing, transmission, and suspension, I was all ready to go. And because there's no limitations. And then I redid the championship. I did the first 2 races of the championship and reached level 19 before I realized my dumbass forgot to record the races. So I had to redo the championship again. Anyways, the first race is at Suzuka Circuit. So let's see how I do. So the first corner came around and I managed to beat the tuned Golf and the Nismo 400R. And then I overtook the HKS Time Attack car. I'm sure that car isn't gonna be a problem in the future. And then I tried to catch up to the Amuse on the S-curves, but the Gordo steer didn't let me. And before you ask, the car still suffers from Gordo steer. Not as much as on the first attempt, but it still suffers from it. Anyways, I tried to catch up and overtake the Amuse, but failed. I tried again on this corner, but that still wasn't enough. You know what they say, third time's a charm. I tried to overtake it on this braking zone and actually succeeded this time. And then it took me a while to catch up to the tuned Audi TT and the Mine Skyline. I knew I had no chance with these guys in the corners, so I had to use a sneaky tactic to overtake both of them. And despite the overwhelming amount of Gordo steer, I still managed to pull through and take the win. And if you're wondering, these are the opponents I'm going up against. Anyways, I won and I've earned 19,000 credits as a reward. The second race proved to be the easiest. It's on Daytona Road Course. At first, I had a very rough start on this race. But anyways, the braking zone came around and I managed to overtake the HKS, HPA and the Nismo very easily. It took me a bit of time, but I managed to catch up to the Amuse on this corner. And then I overtook it on the speed section. And then on the next braking zone, I overtook the TT and the Skyline. What can I say? This race was really easy. So easy, in fact, that the biggest challenge was not falling asleep. I think everyone knows the drill at this point. The third race is at Grand Valley Speedway. The first braking zone came around and I easily overtook the HPA and the Nismo. Then I tried to overtake the HKS, but I couldn't. Then I tried again and succeeded this time. The next braking zone came around and I managed to catch up to the Amuse and overtake it. And then it took me all the way till the end of the second lap to catch up to the TT and the Skyline. After all of that struggling, I finally managed to catch up to the TT and overtake it. And then it took me a long while to catch up to the skyline. But once I did, it was very easy to overtake it. And the rest of the race pretty much went as you would expect it to go. And earned 19 fat. You get the point. The fourth race is at Special Stage Route 5, another track that features tricky corners. The long corner came around and I managed to overtake the HKS. But then it overtook me back. Then I tried to overtake it again and succeeded this time. The twisty section came around and I easily overtook the Nismo 400R. As usual, it took me a bit of time to catch up to the Amuse, but once I did catch up, it was easy to overtake it. And then, you should probably know what happens next at this point. This section of the track came around and I easily overtook the Audi TT. It took me all the way till half of the third lap to catch up to the skyline. The twisty section came around and I finally managed to catch up to the skyline, but not quite enough to overtake it. I tried to overtake it on the braking zone and I succeeded. And then I just cruised to the finish line and won the race, with the mine skyline right behind me. No matter what happens in the final race, I already have this championship in the bag. But speaking of the final race, it's held at Tokyo Route 246. Yeah, a way to eliminate cars with understeer. But since I'm not a bitch, I still tried to do the race even if I wasn't gonna succeed. But unfortunately, no matter how hard I tried, the best I could do was 5th place. But still, I earned 11,000 credits, reached level 20. I can now take part in the Extreme Series. And earned 97,000 credits for winning the championship. And yeah, that's Tuning Car Grand Prix. After all of that, let's see what we get as a prize car for winning this event. A Stage 2 R32. Just like the Shizetta, I'm not sure if I'll be able to use it anywhere, but we'll see. And that's about it for today's episode. If you enjoyed, which I know you did, like the video, and maybe even consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in episode 9.